Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to path number 4 in 9.3.4 easy path. That is also going to be your science gate, and the defenders are going to be Spiral, Northstar, Ikaris, Wong, Apocalypse and Longshot. The bosses for this quest are going to be Namor, Red Goblin and Mr. Negative. We are going to attempt Namor, more on him later in the video. For your boost and masteries, you can just use your regular ones, but if you're using a champion that is low rarity or rank, I would suggest you to boost well. You will not require any kind of relics for this path. And for the counters here, your first counters are going to be your Power Sting champions, because they're going to run through this path super easy. If you don't have enough of those Power Sting champions, go for the Taunt debuff champions that can easily apply Taunt. And you can still use damage over time champions. All of them work, but it's a slight caveat to it. But like I will explain you throughout the video when I talk about the nodes and the fights. So the first fight is going to be against a Spiral. Now the most important node you need to understand is called Hubris. So the defender will take reduced damage from all incoming damage by 90% unless they're using a special attack. And once they finish using their special attack, all the damage they took during the special attack is multiplied by 350 and then they take it as a burst damage. So essentially you need champions with damage over time, so while the animation of their special attack is going on, you are still dealing damage. Or Power Stings, because Power Stings activate right after the special attack is triggered. So your Taunt champions, your damage over time champions and also your Power Sting champions are the best ones. Now you heard me say Taunt champions, you wonder why, because there is a no tearing mockery. So whenever the defender is inflicted with a taunt, they are also inflicted with a rupture passive, dealing the 150% of your attack as damage to the opponent. So that kind of also gives you like a passive damage over time when you apply taunts. But remember about middle ground, so when the defender is cornered, they become immune to debuffs. So you have to keep the defenders in between, in middle of the arena. If you go take them to their corner, the debuff immunity will kick in and you lose all of your debuff and you will not deal any kind of hubris damage. Now, another thing that really helps you here if you're using damage over time champions is the inexorable buff. You notice that in the last fight I was applying non-damaging debuffs, there was no inexorable. But as soon as I use a champion that applies damage over time effects, damaging ones, there is an inexorable on Northstar. That kind of helps you because that helps you not corner the opponent and the debuff immunity is not applied. And also the defender is more biased to throw SP1 and SP2. So all you need to do is to keep applying the taunts or power stings or those debuffs and let the defender throw the special. And after every special attack, you will notice they will take a big chunk of damage with Hubris. Super fun path. I hope you enjoy it. One final thing you need to take care about, that whenever the defender is immune to a debuff, they will gain unstoppable passive for 2 seconds. If you're gonna go against a defender that has some kind of immunity and your champion triggers it, that's gonna give them unstoppable. So just be careful about that. Other than that, it's a super fun and easy path to get through it. It is the science gate, and the next fight is going to be against Ikaris. You will notice that I have brought in a Kushala, but I'm not going to use my SP ones, because if I use my SP ones, that is going to apply Incinerate on Ikaris, who is immune to it, and he's going to go unstoppable. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my SP2s only and let that Soul Bob do all the damage. And while he activates or triggers his special attacks, all of that Soul Bob damage is going to be multiplied by 350. Look at that, chunks of HP going away. So I'm giving you quite a few options that you can use. You can still go with the science champions if you want, but showing you different options that you can use and you can take out Ikaris. Another great thing about Kushala, she can block unblockable attacks, so that is also going to help. So just right there, if I push him to an SP2, I should be able to get, kind of get out of jail. So here we are, push him to an SP2, block the unblockable, and we are good to go. And before we know it, Ikaris is down. So it is a super fun path. Spider Ham and Spider Woman Jessica Drew are like the best champions. Next up, we are going to have a Wong. Now I'm just gonna have fun with Spider Ham here, so I'm just gonna use my light medium attacks and then dash back and hold my block to get the evade and unblockable to apply more of those power stings, and then just go directly for an SP2. The power sting damage is just crazy, and when I apply those taunts because of the node, they're also going to be getting ruptured, and with the rupture they're going to take quite a bit of damage, and before you know it, you're going to take the defender down. He's already down to 35%. So usually the defenders are really tanky in 9.3, but this is one of those paths that you can just have fun while playing at it and bringing the defenders down. The fight number 5 is going to be a little bit annoying one because it's a very tanky apocalypse and it might take you a little longer to take him down. So I'm using an Ironheart, and remember that I am using my Rupture pre-fight. I'm not going with the default Incinerate because Apocalypse can go immune to Incinerate, and then that can cause all sorts of troubles for me. I've given you quite a few options you can use. I've tried this fight with Lady Deathstrike. I've also tried this fight with Shuri, so all of those champions can work, or you can go directly with your science champions with all the taunts and everything. They can work as well. And I would suggest you to keep pushing Apocalypse to an SP2, so it's much more easier to evade than the SP1. And you notice that I lost all of my debuffs because I took Apocalypse to the corner to the wall, and that gave him debuff immunity. So now I just have to use my 4-hit combos, and I have to stay back, not take him in the wall, and stack those ruptures. The more ruptures are there, the more damage over time he will take during the special attack, and at the end of the special he will take more chunk of damage. Now I notice here I am taking him to his side of the map, so I'm just going to dash back. And remember, the inexorable is there. Whenever you will apply damage over time effects on the opponent, the inexorable will be there, and that will help you kind of not push the opponent in the back wall. So again, power stings, ruptures, any damage over time that does not include Incinerate should work against Apocalypse or Bleed. Just be careful about that, because once he gets both of those immunities, he is going to keep getting those unstoppables, and that would be difficult to handle. And the final fight before the boss is going to be a Longshot. Now Longshot, the whole difficulty here that he might get to an SP2 and he can nullify your buffs and deal quite a bit of damage to you. In one SP2 you can die. But the solution to that is to bring champions that are nullify immune. So I'm using a Jessica Drew. She is rank 4 6200 for me, but I've given you quite a few options that you can use that are nullify immune, and they also have damage over time. For example, a really good option that you can use against Longshot is going to be from tech class, that is Omega Sentinel. You can keep those debuffs paused, and you don't have to worry about the nullify. So any champion that has nullify immunity and also has damage over time is going to be great for this fight. If they are power stings, even better. So Spider-Woman has power stings, and also she is immune to nullifier, so she's kind of the perfect counter for Longshot, but there are plenty of options that can work, and I've given you just that. Now before I jump into the fight, make sure to like and subscribe to the video, and like the video and leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps me out a lot. Now the boss is going to be a Namor. This is really a fun boss, not really difficult. The first node is going to be all about your bloody fight. So you and Namor both will be applied bleeds. So you have to bring in a champion that is bleed immune. There's also going to be unstoppable with buff toggle unstoppable. So you will need ideally a champ that is bleed immune, can also deal with the unstoppable. So the two champions that work super well, have both of these things, is going to be Absorbing Man and Dust. If you have both of them, you can control this fight much easier. But of course, you can use other tech champions as well that are just bleed immune, and you can play around the unstoppable as well. Remember, there is also powerful, so you cannot control his power or power steal or power drain or anything on him. So the power will be there. He's going to gain a lot of power. He's going to throw a lot of specials. I would suggest you the best way would be to deal with him is not to let him go to an SP1, because those are a lot of hits and they're a bit difficult to evade, especially when you're rooted with I am root. So remember that, be careful about it. And every 4 seconds, all the debuffs will be removed from Namor. So you have to be careful about that. Unless there is a debuff applied on Namor, then the debuff immunity is reduced. But remember, he's going to get those bleeds from the bloody fight node, so you should be good. And finally, there is Bubble Shield. Now, every time he's going to hit you in your block, he's going to give you a charge. And when the 10 charges are up, the 11th hit he tries, is going to be unblockable. So you have to be careful and play around it. Absorbing Man is a great counter here. I've seen this fight taken down with a Namor. I've seen this fight taken down with a Dust. So there are plenty of different options. The only caveat is if you bring in a bleed immune champion only, you have to deal with the unstoppable yourself. But if you bring in a champion that can deal with unstoppable and also is bleed immune, you can use that. It can be a slow champion, it can be a grid champion, it can be anybody as long as the bleed immunity is there. So I hope this kind of helps you guys and helps you get through this 9.3.4. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. It really helps me out a lot. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what champions did you use. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.